will fit together. Daryl Morey built this roster, but guess who has to make it work? Mike D'Antoni. Here he is on the Woj pod discussing how he will adjust to this new superstar duo.
James is a horse, and now, the second superstar you add is a horse, and you just try to match it up and try to get the best and then play the way that we need to play to be the best. And our offense, and it's funny, they got to change their offense. Well, it's been the number one or two.
Right.
Golden State's the best ever, and we're right behind them.
Right.
And actually, from mid-November on, we were 1 point better offensively efficient than any team in the league. So we're not changing much. We'll tweak it, but to say you got to change, you can't win that way, that's BS.
This I thought was a fascinating conversation, by the way. I listened to it this morning, and it's super fascinating because Mike D'Antoni, as of today, still only has this next season left on his deal. Clinton, do you think that this puts even more pressure on him to figure out how to make these guys work together?
I actually think paradoxically it does the exact opposite. D'Antoni's got a year. Nobody actually thinks D'Antoni is the guy that's going to make this happen if you ask them. And that's what's so strange about this, because it's been his system that's led the league in terms of offense for so long. But I don't think anybody's thinking, oh man, if D'Antoni gets it done, I'm going to change my image of what he is as a coach. I think a lot of people feel like on some level he's been what's holding them back, oddly enough. And as much as I might not agree with that, I think it makes for an easy situation. Hey, we've got him for this year. Hey, we've made a bunch of moves. If it doesn't work out, we can all move on. I think this is actually a pretty reasonable situation to expect some decent success from that team and that coach.
Well, I can see what they're going to do. They have two pick-and-roll big men because they just added Tyson Chandler, and they have Clint Capella. They have two terrific pick-and-roll ball handlers, and they have an ISO player, maybe the greatest ISO player of all time. I'm not worried about him scoring points. What I am worried about is when we get into the playoffs, which everybody seems to forget it changes. People are just not going to guard Westbrook. They're just not going to guard him. Unless he spends the next 6 months showing people he can shoot the three, he's a dramatically worse shooter than Chris Paul is as an off-ball player. Yeah. And so that's what I just think. And that's what I want to know. I mean, I'm not worried about him scoring points in January. I'm worried about him going far in the playoffs with what the competition is going to be. That's my concern of the trade.
Yeah, I mean, in a half court, you got two guys who need the ball in their hands, one of whom can't shoot, neither of whom move very much when they don't have the ball, and we're expecting, it'll be fine. And Mike's right, his offense isn't the problem. It's not the reason why they haven't gotten over the hump. But we're talking about personnel-wise, this addition does not make sense. And to me, it actually undercuts Mike, and it doesn't help that he, as you said, he's going into the last year of his contract, and the extension they offered him was a low-ball extension. And so all of this smacks to me of ownership that follows NBA 2K closer than them. No way you can tell me Russell Westbrook is a better fit for this team. And that's even before we talk about the pick inventory that they gave up to get him. That's the more damning part.
There's an age. The age thing is what I've been told, and certainly again listening today, it sounded like was part of their thinking. They are the highest usage rate players in the entire league, though.
Ever, not just in the entire ever
history of
in the history of basketball. These are incredibly high usage players.
I actually think Westbrook with the Rockets offense will be great. With the floor being spread for him, I mean, this was a big issue with Oklahoma City. He didn't have shooting.
Right.
The Rockets have great shooting.
Except,
I think when Russell is out there running the show, he could be awesome. He could be better.
Except
he's got to play with Harden.
There you go.
Especially in tight playoff situations.
So how do the touches get passed around? Like, how does that work?
Well, Westbrook's the one who's going to have to sacrifice. He's the lesser player at this point.
See, I think the opposite, because if Westbrook's going to be effective at all, these triple-doubles have to count for something in terms of distribution. I think Harden, as a better shooter in this situation, is the one who's going to have to step back, because Westbrook can't function at all, I think, in the same way without the ball. I think Harden can do it without... yeah, sure.
Good luck either way. Good luck either way. But I'm with Clint on this one. One guy can shoot, the other guy can't. Neither of them move a lot without the ball. The offense doesn't call for a lot of off-ball motion either. So if that's the case, I'm going to put the ball in the hands of the lesser shooter because at least I know the defense says we can't leave James. If you flip-flop, and you're right, Harden is way better than Westbrook. And it's criminal that we don't mention that enough. We make it seem like they're peers. They're not.
What happened to the last two star off-ball shooters that play with Westbrook?
Look,
Nobody's saying it's effective, but it's what they gotta
But
do.
this is why I'm saying this deal was bad, Brian. This is exactly what I'm saying it's bad. But the only way you can make it work is if you have adequate spacing, and you can't do that if Westbrook's in the corner because no one respects him.
What did Kevin Arnovitz say in the last segment? There are a couple teams in the West who think that they are title contenders who will end up by definition losing in the first round. It will be interesting to see. We talk about all these teams and what their strengths and weaknesses are. Someone is going to be coming up in a way that they do not expect. More on the jump is on the way. Lonzo Ball excited for a fresh start with the Pelicans, but will we see his potential unlocked in New Orleans? We will discuss next.